Welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today we're looking into a really quite disturbing story. It's one that really highlights, doesn't it, the two sides of the internet.
It really does. On one hand, it connects us, creates opportunities, but on the other, well, there can be hidden dangers, really serious ones.
Exactly. And today's deep dive focuses on one such tragedy. We're talking about Cynthia Osokogu, a young Nigerian woman. So much promise, but her life was cut short by people she met online, specifically on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Our goal today is to really unpack this look at how the deception worked, what actually happened, based on police reports, court documents, family accounts, all the material we've reviewed, and crucially, what lessons we can take away for online safety.
Because it's such a stark reminder, isn't it? That online profile, that friendly message,
Yeah,
it might not be who you think it is.
absolutely. It underlines that caution is just so vital.
So let's start with Cynthia herself. Before all this happened, who was she? She sounds like she was quite remarkable.
Definitely. The sources paint the picture of someone really vibrant.
She was only 24 back in 2012 when this happened. Born November 10th, 1987 in Delta State, Nigeria. And, the sad thing is, she was the only daughter, 3 older brothers.
And her father, a retired Army general, Mr. Frank Osokogu, and her mother, Mrs. Joy Rita, you get the sense she was incredibly cherished.
You really do. And smart, ambitious too. She had a degree in English language from Nasarawa State University.
And she wasn't stopping there. She was actually doing her master's in public administration at the time.
On top of working and running her own business.
Yeah, can you believe it? Owned her own fashion boutique, Dress Code. Started it back in 2007.
Wow. That's some serious drive. Her family and friends, they described her as hardworking, loving, industrious.
There's that detail about her sales girl, right? Said Cynthia treated her like a sister.
It speaks volumes. It really feels like this was a young woman who, had her whole life mapped out. So much achieved already.
It's heartbreaking, and it's sort of within that context, her ambition, her connections, that the online deception really took root.
Right. So how did it begin? The sources mentioned Facebook.
Yes. She was active on Facebook like so many young people, and over about 4 months, which is quite a long time, really, she built up this online friendship.
4 months. With who?
A guy named Ukumo and then shortly after, his cousin, Ekazona Olisa Aloka Nuabufor, also became part of this online circle.
4 months. That's not a quick thing. That's building trust over time.
Exactly. It suggests real premeditation.
She's coming to Lagos, and which I assisted her in getting the flight ticket to come. So when she came over to Lagos, that was on 20th of July. We stayed together till the 21st of July, when in the morning, me and my cousin we were able to try to dislodge her of her belongings. In the process of doing it, we struggled with her. We started beating her up to subdue her so that we can take whatever that belongs to her. She fainted and died.
You don't intend to kill her?
No, I don't even intend to kill her. My cousin was beating her, beating her to an extent that she lost conscious of herself.
He just called me and told me he wants me to help him bind the girl so that he can go with the girl's belongings. I don't know the girl from anywhere. I've not seen her before. I've not communicated with her before.
Okumo didn't just pop up with a crazy offer. He crafted a persona.
What kind of persona? How did he hook her in?
Well, he presented himself as a student at Lagos State University. And crucially, he claimed he was also in the fashion business.
Ah, okay. So connecting directly with her passion, her boutique.
Precisely. He told Cynthia he had connections, that he could get her goods for Dress Code much cheaper than her usual supplier in the U.S.
Oh, for a young entrepreneur like Cynthia, that must have sounded amazing, like a genuine business opportunity falling into her lap.
Absolutely. A dream come true, potentially. To her, they probably just seemed like, fellow entrepreneurs, students of the same hustle she had.
But the reality, as we know now from the investigation, it was very different.
Totally different. Okumo wasn't just being friendly. He was, it seems, patiently stalking her, carefully gaining her trust. It wasn't random. It was a setup.
A web of deception, exploiting her own ambitions. It really shows how these dangers aren't always obvious, are they? They can be slow, subtle.
That's what makes it so chilling. And eventually, after those months, the trap was set.
How? What was the next step?
An invitation. Based on this fake business opportunity, they offered to fly her to Lagos. They said they'd put her up in a, quote, decent hotel and introduce her to their business associates.
So framed entirely as a business trip, something perfectly logical for her boutique.
Exactly. It bypassed all the usual stranger danger alarms because it seemed professional, linked to her goals.
It's clever in a horrifying way. So she takes the trip.
She does. On July 21st, 2012, you can just imagine her probably excited, hopeful about this new connection for her business. She flew from Abuja to Lagos.
And she even called her mom when she landed.
Yeah, like a good daughter. Let her know she'd arrive safely. Just heartbreaking to think about that call now.
Oh, absolutely. So she lands.
Okumo and Ekazona picked her up right from the Murtala Muhammad International Airport.
Okay. And where do they take her? Not to a business meeting, I assume.
No, straight to the Cosmilla Hotel in Lakeview Estate.
And then, in the hotel room, what happened?
They offered her a soft drink, but it wasn't just a drug.
It was laced, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The reports mentioned Rohypnol.
Yes, Rohypnol, a powerful sedative, often called a date rape drug. Their intention was clear from the start: incapacitate her.
My goodness. And did it work immediately?
Apparently not as quickly as they expected. The reports say when the drug didn't knock her out fast enough, they resorted to just brutal force.
Oh no, what did they do?
They tied her up, taped her mouth shut, and then they beat her, repeatedly, demanding money.
Demanding money. Why?
They probably figured, daughter of a retired general, she must be carrying a lot of cash for this business deal.
Right. That makes a horrible kind of sense. They stole the money she'd brought, her 3 BlackBerry phones, which were quite valuable, then her jewelry, passport, driver's license, everything.
Stripped her of everything.
But it didn't stop there.
Yeah.
The court documents, they detailed just unimaginable horror. They sexually assaulted her repeatedly over hours.
Oh God, this is horrific.
It is. And after all that, they strangled her. They ended her life.
Strangled her.
And the sheer coldness, they then spent the night in the room with her body.
They stayed in the room all night.
Yes. It's almost impossible to comprehend that level of depravity.
I have no words. It's just sickening. And the next day.
The next morning, July 22nd, they just checked out.
Yeah.
Left the hotel, leaving Cynthia's body behind.
And tried to cover their tracks.
Immediately. Deleted her from their Facebook contacts. Tried to erase the whole connection like it never happened. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, her family must have been going out of their minds.
Absolutely frantic. Her poor mother tried calling her phone for 5 days straight. Nothing. Just silence.
5 days. The agony.
Then, on the 7th day, someone answered Cynthia's phone. It was one of the men.
What did he say?
At first, he lied. Said Cynthia was sick, gave a fake hospital name. But then the story changed. Suddenly, it was a kidnapping. They demanded a ransom.
A ransom. How much?
20 million naira. A huge sum. But when her mother begged to know if Cynthia was even alive, they wouldn't confirm. Just kept saying she was sick and couldn't talk.
Playing cruel games while her family was desperate. What about the hotel? Did they suspect anything?
Well, Okumo had spun a story to the receptionist when they first left. Said he was going to the ATM, that his girlfriend was still in the room, and not to disturb her, said he'd be back by noon to pay.
Which, of course, he never did.
Never did. Then, later that same day, around 3 p.m., the receptionist gets another call. Investigators believe it was Okumo.
What did he say this time?
This is just chilling. He demanded that the body of the bastard be removed from the room.
He called her that and demanded they remove the body.
Yes. That call, horrifying as it was, finally triggered the discovery.
So the staff went to the room.
The receptionist opened the door, screamed, got the manager. The manager called the police.
And they found her.
They found her lifeless body, naked, hands tied behind her back with a padlock and chain. The autopsy later confirmed it, asphyxia due to strangulation.
How did they even identify her at first?
It was tough initially, but they found a yellow fever card in the room that had her passport number. Using that, Immigration Services identified her as Cynthia Osokogu.
Okay, so they had her name and the link to the killers.
Her phone records, her call logs, and crucially, the hotel's CCTV footage. It clearly showed Okumo and Ekazona with her. That tied them directly to the crime.
The evidence was stacking up. Did the arrests happen quickly then?
Relatively, yes. With the CCTV and phone records, the police had what they needed. Okumo Nwabufor and Ekazona Nwabufor were arrested on August 27, 2012.
Just over a month after the murder.
That's right. But the investigation didn't stop with just those two.
Oh, who else was involved?
Two others got caught in the net. A pharmacist, Osita Orji. He was the one who sold them the Rohypnol. Without a prescription, obviously.
Right, the drug they used.
And also, Ekazona's brother, Nonsenwo before, he apparently helped them sell Cynthia's stolen BlackBerry phones after the murder.
So, accomplices after the fact, and the supplier of the drug. It shows how these things can spread, involve more people.
It really does. And then, something even more disturbing emerged after the arrests.
What was that?
Other women started coming forward. Survivors.
Survivors of what?
Similar attacks. By Okumo and Ekazona. It turned out Cynthia wasn't an isolated case. They had a pattern.
A pattern? You mean they'd done this before?
Yes. Their method, their MO, was consistent. Lure women online, drug them, tie them up, rob them, sometimes assault them.
My God. So Cynthia, she wasn't the first.
Tragically, no. They actually confessed later to robbing at least 5 other women before Cynthia.
5 others that they admitted to. Who knows how many more there might have been?
Exactly. And the police found more evidence supporting this whole stash of items belonging to other people. Numerous ATM cards, loads of SIM cards, different ID cards.
Proof of other victims. This wasn't just murder and robbery, it was serial predation.
It absolutely was. Cynthia's murder, horrific as it was, finally exposed this terrifying pattern of calculated attacks.
Which led to the trial, of course. What charges did Okumo and Exazona face?
The main charges were heavy. Murder, armed robbery, sexual assault, and the unlawful administration of that noxious substance, the Rohypnol.
And the other 2. The pharmacist and the brother.
They faced lesser charges related to their specific roles selling the drug illegally and handling stolen goods.
Did the main 2 plead guilty, given the evidence?
Not a chance. They pleaded not guilty to everything.
Even with the CCTV, the confessions they apparently made after arrest.
Exactly. That recorded confession was a key piece of evidence for the prosecution. But once they got to court, their story completely changed.
How so? What did they claim in court?
They tried to spin this entirely different narrative. Suddenly, Cynthia was Okumo's lover, they claimed. They were even planning to get married. They completely denied the whole Facebook luring thing.
Wait, they claimed they were getting married? After meeting her, how?
They didn't really explain that part well. They denied drugging her, denied knowing anything about Rohypnol, couldn't explain the missing money or phones or why condoms were found in the room.
It sounds like a desperate attempt to muddy the waters. What about the confession they gave earlier?
The classic defense. They claimed they were forced, that the confession was made under duress.
But the court didn't buy that.
No, the court ultimately rejected that claim, found it to be false. Their lies in court just didn't hold up.
Especially the lover story. Did Okumo know anything about her?
That was a major hole in their story. He couldn't even remember basic things about Cynthia, her birthday, her mother's name, where she was from, things you'd absolutely know about someone you were planning to marry.
It completely exposed the lie, didn't it?
Totally. It made it clear their relationship was fabricated for the trial. The real motive seemed much simpler and uglier.
Which was?
Pure, cold-hearted greed. Maybe some anger mixed in when they didn't get the huge payout they expected from a general's daughter, or perhaps because she fought back. Either way, it was about the money and silencing her when things went wrong.
Just greed, leading to all that brutality.
Yeah.
So the trial went on for a long time.
It did. It was a long, agonizing process for Cynthia's family. Almost 5 years they had to wait for justice.
5 years? That's an incredibly long time to wait for closure.
It really is. But finally, on March 23, 2017, the verdict came down.
And?
Guilty. Okumo Nobufor and Ekazono Nobufor were found guilty on the major charges.
And the sentence?
The sentence was death by hanging for both of them.
Wow. Justice served, finally. But the impact of this case went far beyond the courtroom, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Cynthia's death sent shockwaves, not just across Nigeria, but internationally, too. It was such a brutal story, and it really hammered home the potential dangers lurking online.
Behind those friendly profiles, yeah. Her mother's warning afterwards.
Yeah.
It really hit hard.
It did, warning young people to be so careful about who they connect with online. Even the police called it a major wake-up call, especially for parents regarding their kids' online lives.
And it even became part of popular culture in a way. The Nollywood movie.
That's right. Murder at Prime Suites, released in 2013, shows just how much the case resonated within Nigeria.
It's a testament to the impact. And there was that positive note, too, about the lead investigator.
Yes, DSP Okoro. He received a national honor from the president at the time, Goodluck Jonathan. Not just for his solid police work, but apparently for rejecting a massive bribe, 15 million naira offered by one of the suspects during the investigation.
Wow. Integrity in the face of all that darkness, that's something.
A small glimmer of light in a very dark story.
It truly is a heartbreaking story overall. Cynthia. Just a young, vibrant woman, so full of ambition, lured to her death by predators she met online. For her family, I mean, the pain is just unimaginable. No verdict can ever truly heal that.
No, it can't.
But we remember Cynthia. For her bright spirit, her drive, all that promise that was so cruelly stolen.
Absolutely. And her story carries a vital warning. For everyone listening now, especially younger people active online, please, please be careful.
It sounds so simple, but it's so crucial.
It is. Verify who you're talking to. Question offers that seem too good to be true, especially ones that tap into your dreams like this one did for Cynthia. And never, ever agree to meet someone you only know online in a private place. Not for the first time, anyway. Let friends, family know exactly where you are going, who you are meeting. Your safety has to come first. Cynthia's memory, it really pushes us to be more vigilant, doesn't it? More cautious. And to actively fight against this kind of predatory behavior online. It leaves us with a question, really. What steps can we all take, not just to protect ourselves, but to build safer online spaces? Maybe it's better verification on platforms. Maybe it's more open conversations in families about online risks. Maybe community watch efforts online.
That's a really important thought to end on. How do we collectively make the online world safer so tragedies like Cynthia's don't happen again? Something for all of us to think about.